Ning Bhante and all Kalyana Mita Suki Hontu. I'm Aliana and welcome to Sutta Discussion Day 46 by Bhante Dr. Gangodawila Chandima. Tonight we are going to discuss the 21st session of Sigalovada Sutta. Sigalovada Sutta is the fourth sutta from the total of 10 suttas that have been chosen by Bhante Chandima for this sutta discussion. For those who have missed our previous classes, please check on Ti-Ratana Vihara Amat Pradana Klang Facebook page and YouTube channel. We have uploaded the previous 45 classes there. The Sutta discussion Zoom class is always open. Therefore, whoever that wish to join the class where we can engage directly with Bhante can contact us on Ti-Ratana Vihara Amat Pradana Klang's Facebook Messenger. We are welcoming newcomers. Ti-Ratana Vihara Amat Pradana Klang is also organizing year 2023 novitiate program from 26 February to 4th of March. The registration is now open, so please check on our Facebook page for more information or can call us directly on 018-382-3132. Now please allow me to introduce about our speaker. Bhante Dr. Gangodawila Chandima currently is the Senior Advisor at Patisota, Canada, a virtual Dharma organization that helps beginners as well as expert students in learning Dharma in a variety of ways. Many people are interested in Dharma Pariyesana, Patisota's most acclaimed interview series, which Bhante conducts on regular basis. You can check on Patisota with the link www.patisota.blogspot.com. Bhante Dr. Gangodawila Chandima earned his PhD in Buddhist Studies in 2015 from University of Sri Jayawardenepura in Sri Lanka. From 2012 till 2015, Bhante served as Theravada Buddhist chaplain at the University of British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada. And in 2016, Bhante was a research fellow at the Center for Studies in Religion and Society of the University of Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Without further ado, we welcome once again Bhante. Thank you very much for the wonderful talk. Sadhu.
Thank you, Aliana. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the day 46 of our Sutta discussion. Today, we're gonna have another episode of Sigalovada Sutta. So Sigalovada Sutta episode, I guess 21st episode of the Sigalovada Sutta is up to date. So welcome everybody. We have Sadhiri, Salim, Aliana, Sita, Hema. I saw Sita's mother also was there, and then probably some might join as we proceed. So without further ado, let's respect the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. I would say paying homage to Buddha in the first place. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay, great. So you have a novitiate program coming up. Can become a monk for a short time. Or can you become a nun too, Aliana? Is it possible? Or is it only for bhikkhus, monks?
For Samaneri, Bhante.
Samaneri, okay. Samaneri.
Yes.
Samaneri. Okay, so novice. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, good idea. But you can't do it online. Huh? You have to be in person at the temple. Yeah, it's a good idea. So you will get a sense of what it is and then how to spend the time. I myself became a monk novice when I was 12 years old. That was 1997. And became a full monk in 2004. It's been almost 18, almost 19 years. Yeah, so yeah, when you become a small monk, I would say novice monk, then you get to learn a lot of things. But I think there are changes with the time, because at the time that I was a novice monk, you get to learn a lot, and pretty much you see a world inside the temple, not like today, because you see a world through social media and internet. Yeah, it's a good idea if you could. Okay, so let's get to our topic today. As you can see, it's going to be responsibilities between a new set of responsibilities. It's going to be between employers and employees. So first we have to discuss the responsibilities of employers towards employees. Now, it's not only employees. I would say if you have somebody who works under you, let's say even at home, you pretty much play a role like an employee, because you pay some money. Let's say you could be a housewife, right? So if you have a maid, if you have somebody, so it all applies to all such situations, right? So the reason why Buddha mentioned about employees and employees is that that Buddha wanted to cover all fears that can arise from layperson's life, right? It's not only from the parents, teachers, spouse, friends, but also from workplace, right? Now, in today's world, workplace is a very crucial place, because if you don't feel welcome, if you don't know how to work in a different workplace environment, but there are different people who have different ideas, right? It's going to be an issue. So I think today's, the sort of, two individuals, I would say employer-employee, play a very vital role in their own lives, right? Because sometimes there's an employer and then an employee, and there are people who come to get their service, right? So if the relationship between employer and employee does not work, then the relationship between the company or the place and the people who come to get their service would not definitely work very well. So I think it's a very important, essential relationship. Don't think this is about business. No, it's not about business. You may be a house wife. You may be, there are no house husbands. Huh? You may be a housewife, but then you understand how to even cooperate with your people at home, especially those who are working for you. Okay, so let's go to what do you call Pali text. It's gonna be okay. So here, this part. Huh? And so forth. So who would like to read them, folks? Anybody wants to read? Yeah, just go ahead.
Panchahiko kahapatiputta tanehi ayirakena hetima tisa ta sakamakara Pachupata tapa yata padam kamata savidarena patavetana nupata nena kira nupata nena achariyana rasana sambipakena samaye vosagena.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit, thank you, Lim. It's a bit lengthy Pali words. Panchahi ko gahapati putta tanehi ayyai rakena hettima disa dasa kamma kara pachupatta tabba yatha balang kammanta sangvidhanena. That's going to be the first one. There are 5. Second is batta vetananuppadane. Second, gilanupattane. It's going to be the third one. Accharyana rasana sangvibhage. That's going to be the 4th one. Samaye vosagge. That's going to be the 5th one. Okay, so what are the new words that we don't know here? We know Panchahiko, 5. Gahapati Putta means householder. Tane means 5. Ayye rake. That's a new word. What is that? Ayya. Who's Ayya? Has anybody ever heard the Pali word called Ayya? Ayya.
Is this bosses?
Huh?
Boss. Our
Boss.
superior.
Yeah.
Superior.
Well, I would say boss, can say boss could be a little bit intimidating word, but it's yeah, it's the context. Yeah. Yeah. But have you heard this Ayya, Pali word Ayya in contemporary Buddhist use? Have you heard about some bhikkhunis? Ayya, 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 like so there is then the use, but it's a different context, but similar idea. Ayya means noble. One idea is noble. The other idea could be master, maybe a head, right? Master, head. So here, Ayyirakena means, I would say, the master of the house. If it is a household relationship between housewife and workers. If it is going to be outside, let's say a company, then Ayya could be an employer, could be the employer. Okay. Ayyirakena. Hettima disa. What is hettima? Hetta?
Below, Bhante.
Below. Bottom, right? Below or bottom. I think probably we can ask somebody to read the English one so that this is going to be like a little bit easier for everybody. If somebody wants to read the English one over here, it's going to be here. Yeah. Yeah, Ariana, go ahead.
In 5 ways should workers and servants as the lower direction be respected by an employer: by allocating work according to aptitude, providing wages and food, looking after the sick, sharing special treats, and giving reasonable time of work.
Okay, interesting. Now here the issue is that the 2 words, the meaning of 2 words have been kind of like flipped. Here you could see Hettima means below or bottom. Disa means direction. Dasa Kammakara. These are 2 kind of people. Dasa means servants. Kammakara means workers. Kamma means, what is Kamma? Kamma means action. Kara means those who execute the action. So in 5 ways, a householder, in 5 ways, an employer or a master should treat his or her servants and workers, treating the bottom, I would say the direction of the below direction, lower direction, right? Paccupattatappa. First one is Yatha Balang Kammanta Sangvidhane. Okay, this is interesting. You can see in the translation, it's going to be by allocating work according to aptitude. Now, according to aptitude means Yatha Balang. Balang means, what is Balang here? What is Balang? Balang means strength, maybe the skill, maybe the strength of the employee, right? So employer should first definitely look at the strength or the skill or the proficiency, mastery of the employee, right? Yatha Balang means according to, Yatha means according to, according. So here you see Kammanta Sangvidhanena. Kammanta means work, right? So Sangvidhana means allocating work. That means if you hire somebody into anything, you have to particularly look at what he or she is skilled in, right? To what kind of particular proficiency that the employee has, right? It is very important, right? Let's say you hire somebody, let's say you hire a different person into a different role. So if you don't know exactly what it is, then it's going to be a problem. Let's talk about that from the Buddhist background. Now, the Buddha said, if someone, everybody can become monks, right? Monks or nuns, right? In Buddhism, but not everybody can be ordained. I don't know whether you know that. In the Vinaya, it says, not everybody can be ordained. Who are they? If you have government loans, which you haven't paid, interesting, huh? You can't be ordained. Because at the time of Buddha, there were people who want to get away from their loans. So what happened was, government did not pursue, go after someone, even collection companies at that time, who became a monk. It's a spiritual thing. So the Buddha said, if someone has debt, maybe you should not ordain, because there are other consequences that can happen. But before the Buddha laid down the rule, there were monks who were ordained, lay people who were ordained by other monks without knowing this. What are the other things? So there are certain things. Now, if a layperson has a tattoo that is really obvious, visible, such lay people cannot be ordained according to Vinaya. But this is not being practiced in many places. I'm not going to pinpoint. Because at that time, when people saw a monk with tattoo, they get unhappy about it. Because at that time, people who had tattoo were the people like gangsters, kind of people at that time. But now it's different. When even some people even want to get a tattoo, probably fake tattoo too, right? It's a different environment. But at that time, if a layperson has a permanent tattoo that is visible, then you can't ordain that person. See, there is a skill that you need even to become a monk. So I like to take that example because the novitiate program, right? I don't know their rules, but in the Vinaya, it says that there are some. And what about other things? If the layperson has a skin disease, which is pretty much obvious, so people get unhappy by looking, because at that time, people were really respecting, even today, monks, nuns, so they were pretty much concerned about it. So that means for everything, even for a spiritual thing, there was an eligibility criteria, right? So what about then a household, a company? Definitely they have their own ways of recruiting, interviewing, and all that. So they're going to find out the best person for the work. But normally in private companies, they do it. But in the governments, this could be a little different. In some governments, and not every government. So now here you can see Yatha Balang Kammanta Sangvidhane. That means Yatha Balang. Yatha means according to, Balang means aptitude, let's say strength of the employee or the person. Employer has to really understand what are the skills of that particular person and then appoint that person for the particular work. For the particular work. Let's say there is a temple. Let's talk that too. There are devotees. There might be some devotees who are really good at organizing flowers. Right? There are some devotees who can be very good in organizing flowers, flower arrangements. So the monk or whoever, committee or whoever, they're going to find out who are good at that, not that underestimating others. And there may be a group of people who like cleaning the temple. There may be a group of people who can chant. There may be a group of people who can read Dhamma books, right? So there are certain eligibility things that we can concern, especially when we are giving particular work to someone. Any thoughts from your side? But we are talking about employer-employee side, but you can relate this to any other situation too.
Also, my wife like to delegate his housework to my son. Then my elder son, now he always be cooking our meal. The second son always cleaning the floor.
Oh.
Is that they cannot reverse. One reverse, I think the food cannot eat, and the floor cannot be cleaned.
Mm-hmm. That is great. Yeah. So they like to do it. At the same time, you have understood that they could do it. They could continue, right? That's interesting. Now, the other thing is, what if an employer is going to do overwork to an employee or somebody? Like, let's say, more work that are not really bearable to an employee or a worker or a servant, or maybe wrong work, wrong duties to the, wrong choice of duties to the employee. So there are certainly issues, arguments, and probably a lot of things can happen, right? Any other thoughts?
Actually, I myself is I having a work company. Actually, I'm a production manager, and so I'm a safety officer. So actually, when I appointed to become the safety job, I don't realize that I need to take care also the animal. My company come a lot of cats. Now, so my job had been asked to chase away the cat properly. And in Malaysia, cat is too much and nobody want to adopt the cat anymore.
Okay.
I had no choice, can't do anything, just let them be in my factory until some number is increased, I think 20 or 30 over cat.
Okay.
And finally, because I want to practice compassion, don't want to just thumb it away something. But lastly, I feel myself so sorry about it. I need to chase them away because I'm looking the bigger picture. The company is 400, 500 employees, the image to the customer. I need to chase them away. But finally, still got 4 cats now in the factory. Very well, cannot chase it away. But I had a headache for myself. I think it's a way that I know that I have to take care of the cat and also the insect, the pest, not the how to say I have to take care also not the cat and also the insect like the cockroach and the mice. I think not killing is one for us. Is sometimes we say not killing the people, but sometimes we will until not killing the small insects as well. So it's some sort of contract with our belief and our way of way. So it's this one thing that I think is good to make sure that what you do not contradict your own policy.
Yes, so that's interesting. So you really think that when your boss or whoever is giving you the work, the duties, that they should have concern how this is going to be practical for the employee, right? And then and a master plan, right, to take care of the issue. Okay, any other thoughts before we jump on to the second responsibility?
Bhante, now the most of company that they give training or special program for the workers to fit to the requirement from the company, so that the skill is there. Although maybe sometimes it's not according to what they study, but the company give the
Okay, so company is
program,
creating the skill and they are
yeah.
trying to equip the workers into that skill. That's interesting, because company might have their own vision, mission, and then yeah, I think recently now the conversation about recruiting, especially through some of the softwares too, what they are more into is the skill. They are looking at certain skills. Sometimes you have lots of degrees, but they are looking at their own specific skills to develop, right? Yeah. So, but what happens in a way is that then employer is going to look at you into a different skill that they are looking for. You might not be the person, but you might work on it. You might better your skills, enhance your skills, but still there could be a conflict between the kind of the work and then your skills. Anyways, so our idea here is that if it is a household, then the person who is in the household should understand the exact kind of the skill and the compatibility of that work with the particular worker. If the worker cannot do, then it is not good to appoint her or him to do it. If it is a big company, then those employers have to really look at what is the real skill of the employee. I think this responsibility mostly goes only, especially looking at the employee first and then going to a skill, not like looking at the skill first and then looking for the employees, probably, because this is an olden day way of looking at it. So employer definitely has to look at the particular skills of the employees before they're going to give the work, right? That's the first one. Second responsibility is, as you can see, Bhatta Vetana Nuppadane. Now there are two words, Bhatta and Vetana. Anybody wants to guess the meaning? Bhatta and Vetana. What is Bhatta? Bhatta. Bhatta means food. Bhatta means food. Actually, you can say Bhatta means rice, but you can generally say Bhatta means food in today's world. Bhatta. And then Vetana means salary, right? Bhatta means food. Vetana means salary. Or here you could say wages. Now here, what we have to understand is Vetana. Means wages or salary. So Bhatta Vetana Nuppadanena means that the employer has to provide food and wages. I don't think that this has been practiced in the same way, because some companies give free food to their employees, workers, but some companies provide food for money. You're gonna go and buy from the cafeteria. Some bigger companies they are giving free food, right? So people don't have to worry about food then, either to bring food from their home or either to go out and buy food, either to go to the cafeteria, because they can then focus more on their work. But anyways, the Buddha says employer has to make sure that they adequately give food and payments to their service, I mean for the employees, right? So they have to make sure that those two are really working for everybody. Nowadays, I think salary part is not happening in some countries. What they do is that they go by hourly rate. They go hourly, right? So the more you work, the more you make, right? That is the different idea. But anyways, employer has to make sure that they are giving food and wages. I don't know how it is going to work with today's people, because in today's companies, is it a norm that they have to provide food to every employee? Is a question. But I know that large scale companies, they do free food, or at least they can go and buy. But anyways, it's a responsibility of employer. Any thoughts? Yeah, so it's a responsibility from the employer side. That's the second responsibility. The third one is going to be Gilanupattani. Gilanupattani. Now it's a combination here. Gilanupattani. Let me separate out the words here so you can understand very well. Now here, Gilana. This is how I'm going to separate out the word. Gilana Upatthane. What is Gilana? Anybody wants to guess the meaning of Gilana? Pali Gilana? Gilana means? Sadris, I can't hear you. Yeah.
Is it drinks? Anything to do with drinks?
No.
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 Okay.
Gilana means sick. In Pali, we say Gilana means sick. When you are sick, we call Gilan. So here it means when the worker is sick, then Upattanena, employer has to take care of that sick worker, right? I think this is why nowadays, or even not nowadays, since many decades, there is an idea that employer has to provide a medical insurance to the worker. So normally jobs come with insurance, right? This is the idea. Now it is happening, but not with every work, I guess. But normally, I would say medical insurance is normally included in your job. Dental insurance, dental and eye. Yeah, those parts are included in your job. In olden days, there were no insurances, but it has been made as a responsibility from the employer side. Let's say today one employee got sick, so employee has to take care and attend to that particular matter, whether he or she is okay, whether he or she can see a doctor, right, and take whatever the medications and all that. It is a responsibility of the employer, right? So people can get sick anytime, right? So it is a responsibility. Any thoughts? We can talk about this thing from the modern context. As I said to you, insurance, medical insurance. So it's important, right? Without a medical insurance from the company, it's not going to, I guess, work as a good idea. Now, I think in some companies, they have what you call work. What is it called? Injuries that happen during the work. So they give a different insurance for that. Let's say you work and then you meet with an accident during work, and then there's a different insurance for every worker in many companies I think in the world. That means you feel safe, like you feel like you feel very relaxed that whatever happens to me, everything is going to take care by my company. That means employer, right? So there's a standard medical insurance because normally medical insurances seem to be normal insurances, I would say, surgeries and all that, but not most medical insurances cover two things. What are they? Dental and eyes, right? They are not covered by most medical insurance companies. So, but if you work for a company, let's say a comprehensive company, good company, definitely you have the additional medical insurances for the eyes and dental, including comprehensive medical insurance. Not even that, even workplace injuries can be covered in most of the insurance. So that means even the insurance idea was not brought up at the time of the Buddha, right? Because it was a different, very early time. But the Buddha said, if you hire people to work for you, for your company, then make sure that they have their medical, what you call benefits, right? That is very important, right? So Gilana Upattana means then you need to, if you are an employer, a housewife, then definitely you're going to attend to your servants or workers' medical emergencies. Do you remember an incident that happened to the Buddha about attending a monk who was sick? Everybody left him. Remember that monk? Ti-Ratana Tissa. Bhante, Ti-Ratana Tissa. Because I want to tell you something else with this idea. Ti-Ratana Tissa. I would say his name is Tissa, but this Ti-Ratana is a different. So people made that name. So I would say Bhante. It's pretty bad, huh? So Puti means, I would say, mortified. Then Puti-Gatta. Gatta means body. Tissa is his name. Now, what happened to this monk? His name is Tissa, right? Yeah, at the end, you can say Tissa. So what happened to monk Tissa is that he got the disease called, what is that disease where you get a lot of like very large bumps everywhere? It is not in the world at the moment. Smallpox. Okay, that is smallpox. They say that WHO says that they have actually eliminated this disease from the whole world. Smallpox. So when you get smallpox, then what happens? You get like very big, bumpy things, right, everywhere. So every monk, monks, they left him, and then there was nobody to help Bhante Tissa. Then other monks call him. He is not Tissa. He is Ti-Ratana Tissa. Tissa, who has a modified body. So then the Buddha said, this is wrong. So he went to see monk Ti-Ratana Tissa. And then he by himself ministered to him, took care of him, like he's going to boil water, he's going to, I would say, warm up his body, give him food, shave his places, shave his hair, had a very pleasant chat. He was very happy. And then the Buddha said, if anybody takes care of the sick people who has a sickness, it is like you take care of the Buddha. Yo gilanang upatte yaso mang upatte. If you take care of any sick person, that means you take care of the living Buddha. That means if you take care of an elderly person, maybe a sick person at your in your household, maybe somewhere, maybe in an orphanage, maybe in a senior house, somewhere else, at least you, I would say, contribute some money for that place to, facilitate those things. That means you are as if taking care of the living Buddha. Buddha said that. So Gilana Upatte is not only a normal duty of an employer to an employee. It is treated as taking care of the living Buddha. Right? Now, people go for the easy choices. Huh? They buy a lot of good food and then you put it in front of the Buddha saying that I take care of you. Huh? I mean, we can do it with the puja. But at the same time, the Buddha said that if you want to really take care of me, if you really want to serve me, then you could take care of sick people. But there are issues. Let's say there is I would say, a disease that is spreading faster, so you have to take care of yourself. But you could help out that particular person in other ways, probably giving some money for somebody to take care, probably facilitating, right? So you can make your part available in different ways. But the idea is helping sick people is just as if you take care of the living Buddha. So here it has come as a responsibility of the employer. Gilana Upatte. Any thoughts? Has anybody ever thought that the Buddha went to the monk who had smallpox before and then tended him with his own hands? He boiled water and then cleaned him, cleaned him up, everything. That is why it is very important to study Buddha's life. I always say this, life of the Buddha first before touching Dhamma, because people get really complicated if they touch Dhamma first, because they don't understand the context.
Bhante, is it the Buddha already got superpower? The disease not gonna harm him?
Very good suggestion. Maybe, yes. I can't say why he didn't get it, but what I know is that he went there. I'm not saying that we have to go to such people who have communicable diseases. I'm saying that we have to have the idea, right? Because if you directly go to Dhamma, then your only thing is to become a Sotapanna and become an Arahant one day. So we are losing a lot of things in that Dhamma thinking because we don't know how the Dhamma work with the Buddha's life and the other monks, right? So if you learn the basics of the life of the Buddha, it's very important. Otherwise, don't touch the Dhamma before that. That is why we have Dhamma schools. In Dhamma schools, Dhamma teachers have to normally teach kids not about the higher Dhamma. They teach about the life of the Buddha, because we have to start from there, right? So it's very important because then we understand, oh, the Buddha also went, he by himself did all that. I never know. I thought it is an extra work, extra compassionate. If I have more time, I go and do it, right? It's not extra work. It is a part of our compassionate, life. Gilan, sick, because attending, ministering sick people is very important because then you are really thinking about the pain and then their life, right? It's pretty much concerned with the compassion and loving kindness. Okay, so the fourth responsibility, if you don't have any questions about it, maybe later, is Acharyanan Rasanan Sangvibhagin. It's a little longer one, but I want to show you the real meanings here. Let me break down. What is Acharyanan? Acharyanan means, you can see it here, special. Acharyanan means special. Let me type that for you. Special. Then Rasanam means sweets. Okay. And then Sangvibhagena means, I would say, distribution. These are the meanings. Acharyanam rasanam samvibhage. That means at that time, Buddha saw that some employers eat good food, delicious food, sweets, confectionaries by themselves. They don't share with their workers. Okay. They did not share with their workers. Right? The Buddha said, no, don't do that. Make them feel home. So employers should share their sweet. Is it only employers should share the sweets? Are we not supposed to share what we eat sometimes? Sweets? We are supposed to share too, right? So a Buddhist, someone who is following the Buddha's teachings, is supposed to share before eating, right? That is a good idea, not just eat right away. But there are traditions where people eat alone, right? I'm not saying which is that, but as a Buddhist, we always look for the people who, I mean, there are certain ways that you can't, there are certain situations where you can't share food because there are some safety, health issues. But other than that, if you think that you can, definitely you're going to ask, did you have something for your meals, or you want to eat this thing? So sharing sweets, because then your workers will feel this is like your home, right? Because you are not like distancing your workers. They feel like this is their house, right? That is very interesting, because if you distance them at that place, then they're going to work in a different way. That means employer or the boss or the master head, they should specifically consent to share good, I would say, sweets, confectionaries. What are the good words in today's world? Cravables, cravables. Cravables. Sometimes those food that everybody wants to eat, cravables. It comes with the craving, cravables. Okay, those could be sweets, could be some snack. Okay, snack, sweets, those, right? Probably junk food too. Everybody likes to eat some junk food. They say, oh, we're gonna eat healthy food, organic food, but super expensive. They are super expensive because they say we have to check everything, right? But at the end, everybody likes junk food, even behind the scene. Okay? Oh, McDonald's, KFC. Okay, right? That's what people like most, right? I mean, whatever they stand for, but junk food, right? So anyways, if you think that your workers like snacks, sweets, then it is very good that if you could share. So I'm not thinking that this is only for an employee. In your personal life, before you eating, anything that everybody likes, if there's somebody you could share, please share. Then you are trying to minimize the greed towards that particular food. Okay? Remember that story? The Moggallana, Bhante Moggallana? Another story, huh? Let me tell you that story. Very famous story though. There was a, I would say, banker like Anathapindika. His name is Kosia. He one day he thought an idea came to him that I want to eat some sweets. What is that sweet called? It's called pooper. It's like a sweet that is made from the wheat flour. So he said to his wife, you know what, I want to eat this particular thing. We have a 7-story mansion here. So we're going to go to the 7th floor to cook this, make this, right? Because when we make these kind of sweets, it is likely that people come to our house and then request what we eat. I don't like that idea, We got to go to the 7th floor. So they went to the 7th floor. Now they start making these poopers. We call them kind of a sweet made from the wheat. What happened on that day? The Buddha saw this. Buddha said, Bhante Moggala, you have a challenge. You want to try it out. This particular banker, so greedy for the food, he and his wife went to the 7th floor to make that You want to sort of help their greed overcome. I said, okay. Then he went to the 7th floor with his levitation. Then the banker saw a monk. He doesn't know who is this. Oh, what the heck is this? I came to the 7th floor, and then there's a monk here. This is so crazy. I can't even eat my food, right? And then he was telling the monk, you know what? Even you are in the sky, I'm not giving any food to you, especially what we are making here. Then the Bhante Moggallana is okay, he said. Then what happened? He started sending something out of his body being in the sky. Then the bank got a little complicated. Okay, this is really something going to happen to me. So he said to his wife, you know what? Make a very tiny pooper, sweet, so we can give it to the monk so he will go. So then the wife added a small amount of barley wheat flour. It became the biggest sweet in that particular pan. So he was very unhappy after that. Then finally what happened was the banker said to wife, no, you know what, let's give all these sweets to this monk and get rid of it. And then Bhante Moggallana said, no, I'm not going to take all this. I'm not accepting anything. You can come to Jetavanaram, where the Buddha was living now. It's a couple miles away. So you can offer to all the Sangha over there. I'm not accepting this personally. And then he went with his wife. Wife was a very generous lady, but, him. So what happened was then, distributed all the poopers among all the monks. And then what happened was that he got rid of his greed. Now, that is why here we see that the Buddha says, employer has to definitely even share, distribute what he has in terms of sweets, snacks among his workers. Any thoughts? Interesting story, yeah? That means there are people who want to plan to eat something after long, time. Yeah, Hema?
Bhante, the special trip, can it include like company trips or special trips or anything? Or
Special
it's just
trips?
a treat? It's just a special treats. Treats is food or can be any other kind?
Now here it particularly says rasana
On the
means
food.
sweets. Yeah,
Oh,
but I think in order to give them relaxation, harmony, peace, I would say, among other workers too, there are certain things that employers do in today's world, right? I would say trips. What's the other one you said? Trips and?
Oh, yeah. We do have a birthday celebration every
Birthday
month.
celebration. Yeah, definitely food, right? Birthday celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
that's a
do
good
have
idea. Birthday celebration, trips.
month.
Yeah, so we can include that trip also here because even though it is not given as a trip here, but what you do at the end, you are trying to make them happy.
Special,
right?
because
Yeah, make them special, make them happy. So then in that particular umbrella, we can include the trip too. Yes, because at that time people didn't go on trips like that. We don't hear that, so we can include that too. Whatever the things you recognize your workers at a certain specific milestone in their life, or probably in the workplace.
It's like an award.
Yes.
How about awards? Yeah.
Awards, yeah.
Yeah.
Awards. Recognizing their specific talents and all that. Interesting, yeah. Any other thoughts? Now, the flip side is if employers don't get to do those things, on the other side, employees getting frustrated. They're going to talk bad about the employer, and then they're going to quit, or they're going to do certain other things, right? So these things also are visible in today's world, right? So it is very interesting and important to keep this rapport between your workers and you, and if it is a household, then you and your maid or servants, right? It's very important.
Yeah.
Because if workers feel that they are not recognized, it's going to be an issue.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. During the COVID time, our company also arranged food during that time. We discourage, it's discouraged to go out and buy food. So a special arrangement been arranged that food be sent in for them during that period. It was
Oh,
about
great.
a year. Yeah, our company took we gave lunch during that year. So
great,
it was
great.
during the COVID time. Yeah, COVID time.
Then we
And,
can add another layer to this fourth responsibility. That means not even giving food at normal times or particular milestones, and then getting them into trips, but also helping them at emergency times with food and all that, right? It's like COVID-19. It was a very hard time to everybody. So concerned about their lunch. Probably the company can give lunch to them, right? Probably something like
yeah.
that. Yeah, many ways to look at this thing. Sadhris, any thoughts?
Yes, I think how about increase your pay when the time is due? If they haven't done a good job, increase their pay.
Yeah, that is a
People-
part of the Bhatta Vetana
Salary.
Anupadana, right? Yeah, the way you see the providing a good
Wages.
salary or and there is also food, and here what it says, not just the food, sweet, special foods, special sweets, snacks, something like that. So the salary, pay hike, pay increases, it goes under the second response. Yes, it is a part of it. Yeah, definitely. I think that is the most important thing to all workers, right? So yeah, definitely it's a part. Okay, so we go to the last one. It is said here, Samaye Vossaggena. This is interesting. Okay, what is Samaye Vossaggena? Now, what is Vossagga? Vossagga means releasing. If you are an employer, you should release your worker in two ways. Now, it is given in the commentary. What is releasing? That means there could be two times to release them. The first one here, it says, okay, Kala Samaya and Nicha Samaya. Okay. So Nicha Samaya means that Nicha Samaye Vasajjanang Nam Sakala Divasam Hammankaranta Kilamandi. Now let's say when a worker is working the whole day, this is based on at that time, because at that time I don't think they have this 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 regular time hours. Probably they work till night. So when the worker is so tired, probably fainted, so you have given enough work for them, so you have to concern about their stamina and physical strength and mental strength, so you have to release them on a daily basis. That is one way we call it. Yeah, we call that as Nicha Samaya. Then Kala Samaya means, it is interesting too. That means there are certain other times, like let's say you need to give holidays to them. Now, this is said about some particular days. Definitely you are giving holidays to them, right? Making them available to facilitating them different holidays, so that they can take a holiday. They can take a day off for their own personal things, right? So Nicha Samaya and Kala Samaya, so they are equally important, right? It doesn't mean that you are going to lay off them, right? Laying off is not with Samaya Visajja, because workers are unhappy about it. Because what the Buddha meant was that you are releasing them on a daily basis once their what you call the daily duty is done. because there was no particular time frame for them every day at that time. And the second is that you should give them holidays, probably where they can apply for holidays, can take their days off, so that they can also maintain their personal life, right? So employer should definitely be concerned. Now, this is not an issue in a company, because the companies should definitely work with that. But what about the household? Let's talk about it. Do you give enough free time for the maid? If you have a maid at home, or maybe a worker at home, do you say that okay, you go to sleep early because you worked too much today? Is that pleasant conversation happening in many households? Or do people claim that, you know what, you can't sleep till everything is going to finish, right? That is a place to think about, right? That is one thing. Second thing is, do you, I mean, if you are somebody like that, who has a maid, who has a servant, give enough free time for them, right? Because everybody like to have our personal space, right? Personal time, personal space. That is where we're going to recharge ourselves, right? Now it's like the sleep, right? Whenever you sleep, that's the only time where your liver is getting detoxicated, right? It is said that only whenever you sleep before 12 a.m., only your liver is having a good time in detoxicating your toxins inside the liver, and probably giving enough free time for the body to self-charge, recharge. So in the same way, if you are somebody like that, definitely you should give time for other people to have their space, have their peace. So they are getting recharge, right? I think we all need recharge, not even our phones. Whenever you don't have run out of battery, you bring it to a power socket, right? Then you know that through a cable, you giving power to the phone, right? That means energy. What about us? Our energy is also running out on a daily basis. So we need to recharge, right? Definitely then employers have to think about releasing their workers on a daily basis and on particular holiday days, and giving them also choice to make their own holidays, asking permission. All right, any questions? I know that today's topic is a little boring because it's about company, workers, employee. It's kind of a business culture, I think, for the most part. But I don't think it's only a company. It's even a household where you dealing with your own people at home, right? So we can take it in those two ways. Whenever you have someone under you to work, definitely you are playing a role with these five. Okay, any questions about the whole thing? Or any incidents that you have witnessed in the life of the Buddha about this? Okay, looks like no thoughts. I think there are circumstances where even rulers of country, where they release their royal elephants after a certain time of their work, getting done their work at that time. That means even you have to be concerned about animals, right? Some animals at that time. Nowadays, it's a different story. You don't have those animals by whom you get support, like horses, elephants, right? So the Buddha said, even in some places, that you should give enough free time for them, right? Not getting work the whole day. Finally, what I see, yeah, Emma?
lately they use the dogs to help out in Turkey. You know, the dogs to help out to rescue people. They use dogs to go and sniff and help to rescue people from the piles of buildings and all that. It seems it has helped a lot. And those dogs are really work hard. They really, I mean, these dogs really work hard. And it seems lately our country also, we had a place also having a landslide, and those dogs really work hard. And it seems they really needed a rest, a long rest before now they are sent to Turkey. It seems those dogs are really good.
You mean like there were dogs dispatched from your country to Turkey?
Yeah, they send the
okay.
helpers. They send 140 people, 140
great.
of those special people in to help. And now it seems the dogs have been asked to help. And many nations are bringing in dogs. And it seems they managed to help 10 people, or how many they reported that.
Yeah, but it's a lot even
dog,
in their own way.
Five people from a family and all that. So like these animals also need a complete rest also.
Rest.
They really work
Definitely.
hard. Yeah, they really work hard. So I think it's amazing of this sutta that Buddha has gone through so in depth, even to employee and employers.
Employees. Actually, it is not a wonder in a sense, because this is for the lay people. Because lay people have to work for their survival. So when they work, they can either be an employer or an employee. So then, now next week we're going to be discussing about employees, what they are supposed to do for the employer. Yes. Yeah, Sadhis?
I think nowadays you got nothing to worry much about the working rest days or tea time and all that, because we have labor laws which is imposed that every employer need to follow and employee got to follow
labor code, huh?
Yes.
Yes, true.
Because mostly employer will play truant on all this type of thing. They try not to give leave. Even you're sick, they pull you, they force you to come in and all that. But the labor rules are getting tougher and tougher. That they have no choice we have to work together.
Yeah, great. Although there may be some deviations, but there is a good protection to workers on the side of the governments, and it's very good, because now you can see here there were optional things at that time for the employers. There may be an employer who might just not care of their employees at that time, because there was no particular implemented rules like that. But this is what something like the Buddha says: if you are an employer, please consider like a request, a compassionate plea. But nowadays, it's very interesting. So now there are rules, labor codes.
Even though now with the labor rules, you see a lot of mates gone through a lot of bad things.
Still like continue to have.
They have to be washing cars, gardening, painting, and all that, and until somebody report and all that, then become an issue.
Yes, but now there are some support compared to that time, compared to the past. Definitely a support, but still not the perfect system has come down to us, right?
Yeah, still somebody will always try.
Yes,
try
still. Now there is even a day for laborers, right? May 1st or something. Yeah.
Yes, May Day.
May Day. Yeah.
And Bhante, in Malaysia, 1st of January, we just started, and the labor law came in. What is it? 98 days for maternity leave. Those days was 60 days, and they have increased to 98 days.
That's gone
And
up.
working hours have changed from 48 hours to 45. I think they are going towards the direction to 40, because Malaysia want to be a developed country. So the wages is going to go up. They are really working on it, because by 2026, they hope that we can achieve it. So the wage is going up, is wonderful is one thing. It's also tough for some employers, because it's a challenging time to pick up from the COVID time now. and the wages jump about how many percent? 25%. I think those on the lower end from 1,002 to 1,005. So some companies are closing down because the wage jump by 25% is too much during this COVID pickup time, and there are a lot of industries are closing down too. So there is country want to push forward, and we want to protect the workers, but employers are not every employers can go through. Is a bit challenging outside because maternity is really meant for good for the ladies. 98 days, if they have a good pay, you know, for every size company is quite a fair bit, but they have to take care, you know. So the labor law is coming.
Something happened to Emma's internet. Yeah, so Sita is writing here saying that her country is reducing the days of maternity. I hope that things should work. Anyways, there are different things happening in the world. I hope that there will be fruitful ways to help out everybody in this world, especially coming from employer side at this point. Emma, are you with us already? Looks like she's recording from internet. Okay, any more questions? If not, we're going to go for the transference of merits. Okay, looks like no questions, no comments. So we're going to transfer the good karmas towards the departed people and the deities. May all the good karmas which we have been accumulating by discussing another section of the Sigalovada Sutta. I think we are almost going to finish Sigalovada Sutta in a couple more weeks. We are kind of by the end of the Sutta. So be transferred to all these good karmas, be transferred to all the departed relatives who passed away in the name of all of you. If there were any departed relatives who you had in previous lives or in this life, expecting you to give good karmas to them, may they be able to receive all these good karmas. If they were already reborn in a place of pain, may they be able to get rid of that pain. If they are already in a better place, may they be able to listen to more Dhamma and practice more Dhamma, and finally attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idammi ñāti nang hotu sukita hontu ñātayu. Idammi ñāti nang hotu sukita hontu ñātayu. Idammi ñāti nang hotu sukita hontu ñātayu. Then we're going to share good karmas, all good karmas with the Devas, Nagas, and Mahitikas. Devas means deities, Nagas means Nagas, particularly not the snakes, but living beings, other type of living beings, and Mahitikas means all the majestic other beings who are invisible. Now, may Nagas, Devas, Mahitikas be well and happy, and then protect all of you, your family, your parents, your, I would say, children, everybody in your family. May they be well and happy. May Deva, Naga, Mahitika protect you and your family for good health, quality of life, prosperity, safety, and all the good things on your own path. Finally, may Deva, Naga, Mahidika also attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So we have two sets of stanzas we're going to chant. First, Ittavatacha ammehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavatacha ammehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavatacha ammehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha cha bhummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu loka sasanam. Akasattha cha bhummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu desana. Akasattha cha bhummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu mang paranti chirang rakkhantu tvam sadati. At the same time, may we be able to be in the company of the Kalyana Mitras, noble friends, till we attain the Nibbana and not having the association with the unwise people. Thinking thus, we're going to recite this stanza. Imina punya kammena mami bala samagamu satang samagamu tu yavanibbana pattiya. Finally, let's make our great wish. May all the good karmas which we've been accumulating in today's discussion be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I'm going to bless you with a couple more stanzas. Please receive the blessings. Abhivadana silis nichang vadha prachayino chattaru dhamma vadhanti ayuvanno sukham balam ayurarogya sampatti sakka sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminati samivinchatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, that's the end of our session. I would say Sutta discussion day 46.